In this video, we'll be touching a very sensitive topic regarding women's health. If a woman is facing childbirth issues or she's unable to conceive, so what are the problems or what are the zones we can check out in our home if everything is fine apart from biological way, her body or everything is fine in biological way. So there are some zones, there are some directions, there are some areas in our home also in which we can check out and sort out this kind of issue. So first is why this problem arises. Whenever we check out that in our home, the fire element zone, when it gets weakened up, and when this kind of issue arises because of the weakness of the fire element, so we usually check out there will be a problem, there will be some issues in conceiving some childbirth issues or in facing some childbirth issues. Whenever this all issue resembles the fire element, and whenever we have weakened up fire element, like we have some overhead tanks, we have some water activities in the fire element zones, whenever such things are there in a home, in a premises, so a woman definitely face these kind of issues. Means one or the other things will be disturbed, and because of them this problem, this situation arises. So first is the fire element and especially the entrance. We usually noticed that whenever we have an entrance from southeast, especially because southeast is a zone for fire element, and this shows the fire, this shows the southeast direction shows the problem of abortion. Whenever we feel like that we have an entrance from southeast direction, this leads to the abortion problem in a woman's childbirth issues. Second thing is whenever we have water activities in the fire element zone, especially in southeast or SSC or south, whenever we plan some boring or whenever we plan an overhead tank which resembles water activity, storage of water or storage of any water body, or we have a swimming pool there or overhead tank there or boring there, submersibles there. So usually what we notice is that it weakens up the fire element. It weakens up all the three zones, which reflects, which symbolizes this kind of issue, which connects this kind of problem. So from this point, we learn that we have to completely make strong the south direction or SSC direction or southeast direction. Means completely the fire element zone. We have to make that strong so that this kind of issue can be avoidable. Now southeast, SSC and south, apart from these three directions, what else we can check? Means apart from fire element, what else we can check which connect this kind of issue? Second thing apart from fire element is the southwest zone, which resembles the earth element. Earth element gives stability, and southwest directly resembles the woman's health. So all the women in our family, they usually very rarely face any health issue, but whenever southwest is disturbed, so first of all in the family, women face so many health issues and very serious health issues. So southwest also we have to take care in dealing with such a problem. In southwest, what we have to avoid? Again, the fire element. Fire element should be in the fire element zone only, not in other zone or not in other elements, especially in southwest. So avoid having kitchen or avoid having fire activity in the southwest. If a woman is facing already such an issue, so southwest should be completely balanced. More yellow energy should be there, more balancing should be there in the southwest, and more cleanliness should be there. No fire element in the southwest is completely welcomed here. Then in southwest, we usually avoid again the water activities, the overhead tanks or the borings, submersibles. These should be completely avoided in southwest. Southwest directly connects with women's health. Everything which connects with women, we usually first of all check out the southwest. So southwest should be balanced, then fire element should be balanced, means the earth and fire. This should be completely balanced whenever we are dealing with such a problem. Then third is the northeast. Northeast is an area of mind, clarity, and it resembles the water element. Northeast, whenever we plan any fire activity in northeast especially, this weakens up the fire element. Because we are dealing with the water element and fire element, we want to combine them, and this is not possible. Whenever we want to combine a water element activity and a fire element activity, these problems we usually notice that northeast should be balanced. In northeast, no fire activity, no kitchen, should be there in, especially in northeast, because this connects the Surya Nadi, or we can say the Pingala Nadi. If you know about a little bit about the Ayurveda or human bodies, there are two types of nadis we have, that is Ida and Pingala. So whenever our Pingala Nadi, which is there in the northeast zone, especially in our house, whenever it gets weakened up, whenever the water element and the fire element, they get combined, it's weaken up the fire element. So a woman face such an issue. We have noticed usually that a woman face such an issue of growth, of giving a birth to a child. Such a activity, such a placement of fire should be avoided in northeast especially. So there are some zones apart from northeast, apart from southwest, and apart from the fire element zones, that we'll be discussing in the next part. But in this part, you have to learn that these three zones, these three elements should be completely balanced. The first is earth element, especially the southwest direction. Then the fire element, the whole fire element, southeast, then the southeast and south. This should be completely balanced. No water activities, no water bodies should be there in the fire element zones. Then the northeast. In northeast, no fire activity, especially the kitchen, especially the direct fire. These things are not at all welcomed in these three elements. Whenever we check out such an issue, so you have to take care about all these three things. These kind of problems, these kind of issues can be avoidable. Everything is fine in the biological terms or biological way. So we can say, come up with such an issue. We can sort out such an issue in our family.